First wave of U.S. troops arriving at the southern border, part of President Trump's plan to crack down on immigration. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce starts us off. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, immigration was central to President Trump's campaign, and this morning his administration is eager to show he is following through, signing a flurry of executive orders sending troops to the southern border and highlighting ICE raids. Along the southern border this morning, signs of President Trump's long-promised crackdown on immigration as the 1,500 troops sent to the border begin their new mission. In the air and on the ground, Marines from California's Camp Pendleton now at the border wall with heavy trucks and concertina wire. ABC's Matt Rivers on the scene for their arrival.
So right there, part of the very first steps of the U.S. military being deployed down here, those taking off from Camp Pendleton, making their way down here to the U.S.-Mexico border.
The troops deployed to address what Trump has declared is a national emergency.
What exactly do you want them to be doing right now?
Making sure that the border is safe and secure and that criminals don't come into our country.
The surge in forces comes as the situation on the border has improved steadily since former President Biden announced new asylum restrictions last spring. Encounters between Border Patrol and migrants down 60%. Immigration a top issue in Trump's campaign. The White House now eager to show they're delivering. Across the country in major cities like Boston, New York, and Newark, some communities rattled by ICE raids. The Newark mayor saying he will not stand by idly while people are being unlawfully terrorized. Trump has promised the largest mass deportations in American history. But sources tell ABC News these appear to be routine immigration raids that have been customary for years. Trump has also signed an executive order to end birthright citizenship, even though it's protected by the 14th Amendment.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
But yesterday, a federal judge in Washington temporarily halted the order. Judge John Kuhnauer, appointed by President Reagan, calling it blatantly unconstitutional.
Obviously, we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
And President Trump is getting a boost from Congress for his immigration agenda, passing the Laken-Riley Act, which will require federal officials to detain migrants with a past of violent crimes, of course, named after the 22-year-old Georgia student who was killed by an undocumented migrant. That bill now making its way to the president's desk. It is set to be the first piece of legislation he signs in his second term, George.
And Mary, the president also says he's going to release any remaining files on the Kennedy and Martin Luther King assassinations.
The president yesterday signing an executive order to declassify all of the records related to these three assassinations that gripped the nation. President RFK, Senator Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. The president saying, quote, their families and the American people deserve transparency and truth. He is now giving the director of national intelligence just a few weeks to review and declassify this material. George.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much.